Do you have a plan in place for your next sales presentation or interaction? I'm not talking about your spiel or your script here. I mean, do you have a plan and do you know it inside out? You see, working with today's educated and sophisticated consumer, you must have a presentation and a sales interaction that is well planned, as opposed to it being a canned script. Of course, you need to know what you're going to say and the words and phrases that you'll use, but you don't want a rigid script that makes everything so inflexible. Instead, you need to have a plan in place that will have very clear objectives to reach at each stage of the sales interaction. And as you proceed in the sales interaction, you'll want to make sure to accomplish each step completely before you move to the next step. Does that make sense? Now let me give you an idea of what your plan could look like. Okay, the first step in your plan might be the warm-up stage. This is what I call the short period of time when you exchange some brief pleasantries and you start to build rapport when you meet for the first time. And this needs to be planned too. So don't go in and wing it or let the conversation get so far off topic that it becomes difficult to get back to business. Instead, have a plan for this. You should have a few pre-planned topics to talk about, things that are conversational in nature, but that help you to move forward. So what topics can you use as a warm-up? Well, you could start by thinking, what are some of the issues that you still need to uncover? For example, do you need to find out how long they've been in business? How about if they've ever used a similar product in the past? Do you need to find out the experience levels of their staff? Now you can uncover very useful information in the warm-up phase. For example, if you're collected in reception and you're on your way to the meeting room, with the prospect, the warm-up phase could start something like this.
These are very impressive offices, John. How long have ABC been here?
Oh, we've been here for about 2 years now. We moved from the Technology Business Park. These offices are much nicer.
Oh, I know that park, just off the ring road.
Yeah, that's right.
How long were you at the business park?
Oh, too long in my opinion. The company began in 1996 by Greg Smith, and we camped out there for 12 years. It was becoming more cramped by the day.
There's nothing worse, is there? How many people work on site here then, John?
You get the idea. It's very natural and warm, and you're uncovering some very useful information at the same time. The next stage could be the tell them what you're going to tell them stage. You know, it's very important to make sure that everything is clear right from the outset. Let me ask you this. Does the prospect know exactly what you're going to do when you arrive? Do they know what to expect? Don't assume anything here. You need to make it crystal clear, and you should go over exactly what you're going to do and what the next steps will be. For example, if you're going to set up a second visit to come back with a proposal, then tell them. Do you know exactly what you want to get done? Here's an example.
John, what I'd like to do during this meeting is to find out a bit more information about what you're currently doing with your advertising, what's working and what isn't working. I'd also like us to talk about the goals and objectives you've got for your advertising in the future. This will really give me a good understanding on what you want to accomplish. I'd like to talk a little about what we do and what we've done to give you some background, and then I'll be able to go away and put a proposal together of my ideas and how we can help you. How does that sound, John?
You see, you need to tell them what you're going to tell them. John will now know that the meeting will not be a sales pitch, and he'll most likely relax a lot more. He knows exactly what to expect. The next stage is to uncover the problems. Now, before you can have a solution, there has to be a problem. So don't push your benefits from the outset. Instead, pull out the problems first, and then go and solve those problems. So if your product helps the prospect to save them money or time, then since they do not have your product yet, they have to be losing that money and time. So you should ask them questions about those losses and the negative impacts that arise. Now you should have at least 3 areas to discuss so you can uncover the problems. So think about the questions you can ask to accomplish this. The next stage is when you present your solution to those problems. Simply move forward by showing how your product or service solves those problems and cures that pain. Then you should eliminate competitive solutions. Can you name 3 reasons why your product is a better solution than your competition? Can you name 3 shortcomings of your main competitor? And finally, ask for the order, and if possible, give the prospect an additional motivation to act right now. So do you have some closing questions in mind? How do you ask for the order? Do you have an extra incentive to help the prospect to take action now? So that's the plan. Again, this is very generic, but I think you get the point. Make all the adjustments you need to make your own plan of action. So to summarize then, here are the key steps in setting up your own sales plan. 1. The warm-up. Stay focused on what you need to get done. 2. Tell them what you're going to tell them. Don't assume they know. Tell them what to expect in this meeting. 3. Uncover problems. Remember, don't push benefits. Instead, pull out problems. 4. Present the solution to those problems. 5. Knock out competitive solutions. And 6. Ask for the order. Have some good closing questions and a reason to act now.